Hare Krishna, welcome to our weekly Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are on the first canto. I just opening my 11th chapter. Krishna is entering Dwarka, and today we will discuss 11, verse number 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so we'll have to read the purports also, the small purports, and then we'll discuss. So please, who will read the translations? Last time, who read the translations? You read last time? No, today you will read? Okay. Verse number 11. Madhu Boja Dasharahra
Madhuboja Dashara
Pupurandaka Vrishnibihi
Purandaka Vrishnibihi
Atmatulya Baler Guptam
Atmatulya Bale Guptam
Nage Bhogavati Niva.
Nage Bhogavati Niva.
At Bhogavati, the capital of Nagaru, is protected by the Nagar. So was Dwarka, protected by the descendants of Vrishni, Bhoj, Madhu, Dashara, Arha, Pura, Antha, etc., who were as strong as Lord Krishna.
Verse 12. Sarvartu Sarva Vibhava
Sarvatu Sarva Vibhava
Punya Vrikshalata Shramai
Punya Vrikshalata
Udyano Pavanarame
Udyano Pavanilame
Vrita Padmakara Shriyam.
Vrita Padmakara Shriyam.
Translation. The city of Dwarkapuri was filled with the opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchids, stars, gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water breeding lotus flowers all over.
Verse 13. Gopura Dvara Margeshu
Gopuramargeshu
Krita Kautuka Toranam
Gopuramargeshu
Chitradvaja Patakagre Antah Pratihatatapam Tapam Antah Pratihatatapam.
The city gateway, the household doors, and festival arcs along the roads were all nicely decorated with festive signs like plantain trees and mango leaves, all to welcome the Lord. Flags, garlands, and painted signs and slogans all combined to shade the sunshine.
Purport.
Signs of decoration in special festivals were also collected from the gifts of nature, such as the plantain trees, the mango trees, fruits, and flowers. Mango trees, coconut palms, and plantain trees are still accepted as auspicious signs. The flags mentioned above were all painted with a picture of either Garuda or Hanuman. The two gates of it is popular. For devotees, such paintings and decorations are still adored. The servitor of the master is paid more respect for the satisfaction of the Lord.
This was verse 13. Now verse 14. Sammarjita Mahamarga Pratyapanaka Chatvaram Siktam Gandha Jale Ruktam Pala Pushpa Kshatam Purei.
The highways, subways, lanes, markets, and public meetings places were all thoroughly cleansed and then washed with scented water. And to welcome the Lord, fruits, flowers, and unbroken seeds were sown everywhere.
There's purport also, right? Yes.
Scented waters prepared by distilled flowers like rose and deodar were crystal wet the roads, streets, and lanes of the Dwarka. Such places along the marketplace and public meeting places were thoroughly cleansed. From the above description, it appears that the city of Dwarka Dham was considerably big, containing many highways, streets, and public meeting places and with parks, gardens, and reservoirs of water. All were nicely decorated with flowers and fruits. And to welcome the Lord, such flowers and fruits with unbroken seeds of grain were also strewn over the public places. Unbroken seeds of grain or fruits in the seedling stage were considered auspicious, and they are still so used by the Hindus in general on festival days.
Yes. The last verse for today, verse 15. Vari vari grahanam cha
Vari vari Ramanam cha
Dadiyakshata phalekshubihi
Dadiyakshara Padeshubihi
Alankritam purna kumbhe
Alambritam Purna Kumbhe
Balibhir dhupadipake.
Validev Purna
In each and every door of the residential houses, auspicious things like curd, unbroken fruits, sugarcane, and full water pots with articles for worship, incense, and candles were all displayed. The process of reception, according to Vedic rites, is not at all planned. The reception was made not simply by decorating the roads and streets as above mentioned, but by worshipping the Lord with requisite ingredients like incense, lamb, flowers, fruits, sweets, foods, and other palatable eatables, according to one's capacity. All were offered to the Lord, and the remnants of the foodstuffs were distributed among the gathering citizens. So it was not like a dry reception of these modern days. Each and every house was ready to receive the Lord in a similar way. And thus, each and every house on the roads and streets distributed such remnants of food to the citizens. And therefore, the festival was successful. Without distribution of food, no function is complete. And that is the way of Vedic culture.
So these 5 verses reveal how Krishna is received, the reception. So reception of Krishna is beautiful, and that's the Vedic culture. In fact, in the Vedic culture, even any enemy is welcome. When Krishna and Arjuna, and Bhima, they went to Jarasandha. Jarasandha welcomed them, and they would fight in the daytime, and evening they would discuss. They were killing each other. So hospitality is an integral part of Vedic culture. And especially if the Supreme Lord is coming, that is even more beautiful. And so these 5 verses in the purport also, the different details are given, how the Lord is welcomed through auspicious blessings. And now the Lord is appearing, like from tomorrow, the Lord is appearing as a month. Of course, Margashirsha is the month, December time is Krishna, but the another month is Radharani's month, Kartik month. So this is a very special month where Krishna permeates every second, microsecond. This is a festival season where devotees who perform whatever little devotional service get magnified benefits. It's like sometimes you have Diwali discount, the shopkeepers, they sell at a discounted price. Give less price, less money, and you get the product. Similarly, you do even little devotional service in this month, you get a lot of benefits. And there is something mystical of this month beginning from tomorrow. It has been experience of many devotees over the last so many years that they experience some special energy. So this is a month of vows. Devotees take spiritual vows. They hear, they chant, they do more devotional service, they perform austerities. Because this is the month they reap a lot of spiritual benefits. You see Mayapur, Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri crowded with devotees. So Srila Prabhupada wanted us to observe this month by chanting Damodara Ashtakam. This is a month in which there are many festivals. Starting from tomorrow is Krishna's Rasa Lila pastime happening. It's the Sharad Purnima. It's a very special festival. And it's like the most important pastime happening on the very first day of the month. And then you will see every day, morning and evening, we will be glorifying Krishna Damodar Lila and attracting mercy of Krishna. But first festival is Krishna's Ras Lila pastime. It is the highest pastime and on the very first day. And then the mood is set. So what happened on Ras Lila? Krishna played his flute and attracted all the gopis to come in the middle of the night to the forest of Vrindavan, where he performed a beautiful dance with them and had loving exchanges with each gopi. In Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, this is considered as the highest exhibition of love because the gopis, gave up everything to respond to Krishna's call. So the Gaudiya Vaishnava mood is we are all followers of the footsteps of the gopis. Gopi Bhartor Padakamalayor Dasa Dasa Dasanudas. We are servants and servants of the gopis of Vrindavan. So our mood is that we also want to reach a stage where when Krishna is calling, we are willing to give up everything for Krishna. Again, I'll repeat in all my classes, we are not now advocating that give up everything. That's not the point. We are just talking about the gold standard. We worship this standard of the gopis and aspire to reach there one day. That is our mood. Right now, whatever we are doing, we continue doing those responsibilities in the mood of sincere service and hoping and praying that one day we want to reach a stage where we can say, Krishna, I am yours. And we are willing to let go everything. Like I'll give a simple example. So that is a principle. Gopis leaving everything. There are like some of the gopis were, boiling milk, some of them were taking care of children, some of them were taking care of household duties. And when Krishna called, that intense desire to please Krishna was so overwhelming that they dropped everything. They broke all barriers and social conventions to run and please Krishna. We can't give up everything for Krishna's happiness. But in our own way, we can practice surrender. Like, for example, you come with some idea, some plan to temple. I'm giving an example. We are following Gopi's footsteps when we do something which the Gopis did. Like, we come to temple with some idea, some plan. I will do this, I will take darshan, then I will do this, then I will meet this devotee, then I take lunch at Govinda's, then all that we make some plans. And you come here and suddenly some devotee calls you, Prabhu, there is an important service, can you do? So your plan is getting upset. Our willingness to let go my plan, my idea, that is also an expression of surrender. That is same like gopis in one sense. Principle is same. Giving up what I think I have to do for Krishna's sake. We may not be able to give up our house at this stage, but we can give up our idea of what will make me happy. We can give up our idea of what I want to do. We can give up our idea of what is service, what is right, what is wrong. For example, I have like one devotee was sharing that he has an intellectual brain. He is so intelligent that he can hear a class. I've seen him also. He can hear a class, and after the class, he can repeat line by line the entire thing. If you tell him 16.13 Gita, he will immediately quote the verse. 15.7, he will immediately quote. He's so intelligent, his memory is unparalleled. So for him, surrender is when he's sitting in the class and devotee is speaking simple Krishna Leela, where there are extraordinary, fantastic facts explained. Like for example, Ugrasen Maharaj had quadrillion bodyguards. Or now, if he's an intellectual person, he will think, Acha, how can so many bodyguards fit into one city of Dwarka? And if there are so many people living, what will be the drainage system there? So many questions, logical questions can arise in an intellectual mind. So if you hear Bhagavatam sincerely, you will hear a lot of fantastic things which seem to be beyond logic.
I had Mani Baba had 9 lakh crowd.
That is not so difficult. 9 lakh crores is not compared to quadrillion bodyguards. But yeah, so like that, you got the point. If you hear scripture sincerely, you will have a lot of questions which will challenge your intelligence. So for such a devotee, he is also following the gopis' footsteps. Like gopis left everything and ran to the forest in the middle of the night. So this devotee is also doing that same principle when he keeps his intelligence aside and he surrenders and allows the Krishna Katha to influence him. Let go. When we hear also, we want to control, we want to analyze everything, any social interactions we want to control. When we let go control and allow ourselves to be influenced by the person in front of us, that is surrender. So we don't have to necessarily leave home, but we can follow the gopis' footsteps on Sharad Purnima by inculcating these kind of activities. Now, if you say, Prabhuji, but if I do that, then I may be exploited, I may be abused. How can I surrender like that? That means you are again becoming defensive. You are controlling. You don't want to surrender. Did I say you listen to anyone and everyone all the time? No. Once a week you can sit in the class and hear it, regardless of who the speaker is and what he's speaking. You may want to hear about, you may be having a problem of relationships. You may want to hear a class on how to manage relationships, and the speaker may speak on the heavenly and hellish planetary systems, the 14 planetary systems, or technical news, but you're sitting in the class. That is surrender. So Gopi is leaving everything. He also can practice. So Sharad Purnima festival tomorrow is the beginning of Kartik month, where we want to express our surrender to Krishna, and in our own little way, we can practice that surrender. And you know best how you can practice surrender with your spouse, in your family. There are so many situations where accept. Like for example, I think I gave that example. For us, temple is home, but it becomes office also. So for me, I need my private space. So I come to temple chanting japa, I want to be prayerful. And suddenly somebody comes to temple. He's coming after 4 years. For him, I've come home, I've come after so long. For me, every day there are new people coming. Every day there are people coming once in a year. So he comes and looks at me with great joy and anticipation that I'll get excited, I will hurry, boom. But for me, my defensive nature comes up when I am protesting against that invasion to my inner privacy. So for me, surrender means let go, accept. I don't practice it always, but if I remember the gopis gave up everything for Krishna. Now this person has come here to Radha Gopinath's shelter. If I remember, and I say, oh, let me smile at him, let me give him love, let me get Mahaprasad for him, then I'm practicing the same principle. I don't do it all the time. In fact, I've got a lot of backlash and criticism that Prabhuji, you're so snobbish, I'm coming up for so long, you don't even talk to me. Then I have to say, sorry, I'm learning hard way. But every day, see, for example, if some guest comes to your house, they message you, they phone you, and then when there's a ring on the bell rings in that home and you open the door and some guest has come from far off place, you know, that koi aa raha hai. Atiti, without invitation, coming is only happening in temple. At home, generally people come and you prepare breakfast, lunch for them and you know what is going to happen. But imagine in your house, suddenly anytime any guest comes, it can be overwhelming. So that happens to us. So for us, surrender is like that. Like today I got late 10 minutes because I just at 7:13 I left the temple hall. One devotee from Radha Raspberry temple was waiting for 20 minutes to talk to me. And he said, Prabhu, can I take your 2 minutes? I took a deep breath. I said, Prabhu, I have a class, devotees are waiting, I'll be late. Then he looked at me, I looked at him, we smiled. Then I said, let me surrender. I just tried. I don't do it all the time. I'm just saying sometimes. Then I held his hand, I rubbed it. I said, Prabhu, I'm sorry you had to wait for so long. Okay, let us sit. So he became overwhelmed. I also didn't plan to sit with him. Then that 2 minutes, as usually, it went to 8 minutes, 9 minutes. That's what happened then. And when I saw he's satisfied that I heard him out, he wanted to say something. I got a feeling, he's like, release okay. Then I smiled, then I got up and I came. So as I was coming, I felt I practiced somewhere that principle of letting go control. So we all are control freaks, isn't it? We want clarity, we want answers. So when I tell people, devotees, Prabhu, please pray to Krishna, talk to Krishna, they say this is all very vague. What talking with Krishna? No, we can, if you have questions, doubt, we'll ask devotees will answer. So I tell them, no, there are some questions only Krishna will answer. Devotees will not answer some questions. And some questions we want to ask devotees, but we don't want to ask Krishna. Because asking devotees will give immediate answer, and sometimes entertaining answer also, and sometimes encouragement also in the answer. And we become very happy when we get answer from devotees, when we ask question to devotees, because devotees make us happy by their answer. They encourage us, they entertain us, and some devotees even speak shairis in the class. So that is also very nice. It's very nice. I can ask question to devotees. Devotees are so good. They give clarity. I get purpose in life. But Krishna, how can I ask questions to Krishna? It is very vague. That is Mayavad. Mind will cheat me. I better ask devotees only. Because devotees give immediate answer. If you ask questions to Krishna, then it is little risky because the answer doesn't come immediately. You have to keep asking every day. And the answer comes in a language which we are scared to hear. The language of soul, which is Parava. We are scared of that language of Krishna because that language passes through the mind, intelligence, ego. And when we enter that world of the mind, it is a scary forest. We don't realize that our inner world is a forest of Vrindavan. It is a beautiful forest where Radha and Krishna reside. But we have to go through this scary forest. After asking questions to Krishna, begging for answers, and waiting in that solitude, in that uncertain space, is scary for many devotees. So we don't want to ask questions to Krishna. We prefer asking questions to devotees. But a time comes in our life when devotees cannot answer your question. So you have to ask questions to Krishna. So surrender means willingness to ask questions to Krishna and get no answer. What is this, Prabhuji? How can I get no? I want answer. Surrender means give up. Control. Some questions have no answer. Or Krishna's sense of timing is very good. We might not get the answer immediate. But Prabhuji, if I ask questions, how will I know? How can I know that Krishna is, how can I know the answer? I can't know the answer by asking Krishna. Well, let me tell you something interesting here. When you ask questions to Krishna, the ecstasy is not in the answer that you hear. The ecstasy is the fact that you approach Krishna and ask questions to Krishna sincerely, that itself will give you spiritual happiness. Answer is a detail. We don't want to experience the joy of approaching Krishna and humbly submitting to Him. We want to experience the thrill of getting answers for our problems. We don't want to feel loved in Krishna's embrace. We want Krishna to give me what I want now. That is surrender. If you do that, if you take that bold step, you are surrendering to Krishna. You are following the footsteps of gopis. So the gopis did like this. They left everything. So when we hear this pastime, we don't have to think, oh, this is a very 5,500 years before pastime, which had nothing to do with my life. No. Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition talks about surrendering to Krishna every moment in our own life, in our own way. So the gopis came in the middle of the night and Krishna said, very nice, thank you, you came. In the middle of the night, it's not correct for you to leave home like this. Go back now. They were shocked. Krishna is telling them, go back. Actually, what Krishna meant, stay back. But he said, go back. But the gopis understood that he's saying go back, but he means stay back. And they stayed back. Krishna was very happy. Krishna told the Brahmana wives, go back. They wanted to stay back, but Krishna insisted they go back, and they went back. And Krishna wanted them to go back. So, Prabhupada says the gopis and the Brahmana wives both followed contradictory orders. They acted contradictory, but both pleased Krishna. And you will say, how can I know what Krishna is saying and what Krishna means? Arey Baba, this is not about you. This is about the gopis. We can now practice hearing without applying everything in our life. When we hear Krishna Katha, it is not always about getting knowledge and answers to our questions. Hearing about Ras Leela is about associating with Krishna. When you are with your beloved person, is it that every time you sit, you need answers and solutions? Sometimes you simply share love, you simply share silence. If that is not happening, that means there is no love. It's a transactional exchange, it is not a transformational relationship. Similarly, when we hear Rasa Leela or any other pastime, especially tomorrow's day, there will be a very special festival, and we are starting Damodar. So this is a festival where we are offering our hearts and willingness to surrender to Krishna's will, and we practice it in our own unique way. You may not be there. Right now, we have to follow what Krishna says. Krishna is telling gopis, go back, but they understood what he intends. We are not on that level. To understand what is Krishna's intention, let us follow Krishna's instruction. His intention, one day we will understand. So then Krishna was very pleased with them, and then he performed the most beautiful Rasa Leela. And then at one point of time, each gopi felt Krishna was with them, with her only. Although Krishna was dancing with all the gopis, each gopi thought she was most special. And then the gopis became proud, and Krishna disappeared from the Rasasthali. Now, this pride is not like our pride. Krishna is teaching us that sometimes false pride, if you are feeling loss of taste in bhakti, that loss of taste is because of false pride. So Krishna is teaching through the gopis pastime. You can't say, oh, we are also proud, gopis are also proud. No, that is different. Then they were hankering, they were looking for Krishna, they were begging Krishna to appear. And Krishna finally appeared. And the gopis asked Krishna, Krishna, why did you do this to us? And the Krishna said, I was there only. I was hiding behind the trees, wanting to see your intense love. Because the gopis challenged Krishna. Are you a lover who gets a lot of love from devotees but doesn't reciprocate? Or are you a second type of lover who gets very little love from devotees but gives back a lot? Or are you a third kind of lover who gets love and reciprocates same? Multiple choice question. Which are the three types of lover are you? They wanted to say you are the first type of lover who gets lot of love from devotees but doesn't receive. Because they were very sad that Krishna had disappeared. So Krishna said, I am neither of the three, none of the three. I am the fourth type of lover who loves to see his devotees hanker for me. They call for me desperate. That is the month of Kartik. When we offer lamb, we are calling for Krishna. We are offering our heart. We are offering our willingness to surrender to Krishna's will. And it's not easy. There is a lot of churning. You have to go through, just like a mother has to go through labor pain so the child is born. Similarly, we have to go through that labor pain before our spiritual identity is born. Means we have to go through giving up of our past strongly held ideas, opinions, understanding to accept Krishna's will. But we can make a beginning in our small acts of surrender, accepting Krishna's will as it comes. So this is the way gopis pleased Krishna. And then Krishna was very happy that the gopis, the gopis love. Of course, then Krishna took Srimati Radharani. That's another pastime. And then the main thing here is Krishna tells the gopis that he is conquered by their love and he can never repay. He says, my request is you please be satisfied with your love. If somebody gives you something, then you give back. That is reciprocation. But he tells the gopis that your love for me is so much that there is nothing equal that I can give back. So I can only tell you that you please be satisfied with your love. That is itself the reward for your love. Because there is nothing I can give back. Na parayam. I cannot reciprocate with your love. Thus, Krishna established that the gopis are the greatest lovers of Krishna. आराध्य भगवान् ब्रजेश तनया तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण या कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेमापुमार्तो महान् श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभुर्मतमिदं तत्रादराना परा. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us Aradhya Bhagavan, who is our worshipable Lord? Brajesha Tanaya, the darling of Vrindavan, Krishna. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam. And Krishna's Vrindavan is not different from Krishna. This is the second principle in Gaudiya Vaishnava. In our ISKCON tradition, for us Krishna and Vrindavan are same, and Krishna is our worshipable Lord. Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita. And who is the best devotee of Krishna? Who is worshipping Krishna the best? That is Vrajavadu, the gopis of Vrindavan. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. And our greatest scripture is Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Pramanam Amalam, which is the greatest evidence for us to teach us how to love Krishna. And what is the best gift or the highest reward that we are seeking? Prema Pumato Maha. So how many? First, Krishna. Second, Vrindavan. Third, Gopis. Fourth, Bhagavatam. And fifth, love of Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradarana. These five are the main teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we are in this tradition. So our heroes, our role models are gopis of Vrindavan. And that pastime happened on Sharad Purnima, which is tomorrow. There will be kirtan in the temple. Devotees are welcome to take part, attend the festival, and thus begins the month of Kartik. And then many special days are there in this month. And each day when we absorb ourselves, we come closer to Krishna. A few days after Sharad Purnima is the most auspicious disappearance day of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, one of our stalwart Vaishnava Acharyas. That also comes in the month of Kartik. So this is a very, very special day. In fact, I remember once His Holiness Shravana Swami Maharaj gave a class on Narottam Das Thakur and he spoke 6 hours. Exactly 6 hours. Only on Narottam Das Thakur. So he was the son of a great king and he had no interest in material life. From childhood, he was attracted to Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, he was a generation after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking bath in Padma River, looking towards Keturi village, which is the village where Narottam was born, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu screamed out loudly, Narottam, Narottam, and everybody was wondering what is Lord Chaitanya saying. Lord Chaitanya told the devotees very soon, one of the most special devotees called Narottam Das will appear in the region of Keturi. And sure enough, Narottam Das Thakur appeared as son of Krishnananda Datta, king, and he was so attracted to Krishna, he performed devotional service, he left his kingdom, he ran towards Vrindavan. In fact, his father sent guards to capture him, and when they captured him in the middle path, on the way, he looked at them and he begged them about his love for Krishna and his desire to serve Vrindavan Dham, that all of the guards' hearts melted and they let him go to Vrindavan. So he studied under Sri Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan, along with his 2 very close friends, Srinivas Acharya and Shyamanand Pandit. And he took initiation from Narottam Das Thakur, Lokanath Goswami, who was the first devotee who came to Vrindavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had sent. And Lokanath Goswami was so humble, he did not want any disciples. You can imagine, Lokanath Goswami and Bhugarbha Goswami were such exalted Vaishnavas that they did not want to be honored, glorified, respected. In fact, when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami went to Lokanath Goswami and asked for blessings before writing Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lokanath Goswami said, I'll give you blessings only on the condition that you don't mention our names in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But after Bhugarba Goswami and Loknath Goswami's names are not mentioned in the book. And the such kind of devotees are there. Even today, I know one very close friend of mine. I know his birthday, but he literally begged and pleaded with me that nobody should know his birthday because he doesn't want anybody to appreciate him or glorify him. He says all that energy should be used for glorifying other devotees and Krishna. So even in 2025, there are such people. So you can imagine such Vaishnavas. Just last week I was in Vrindavan. I went to Srinivas Acharya's Samadhi. It's very old, downtrodden, broken place. So I asked the pujari there, "Hey, why is it not repaired?" He said, "Here we don't take any donations." Because Srinivas Acharya 500 years back said our place should be very basic minimum facility. Only sincere devotees should come here, take darshan and go. Otherwise, commercialization will happen here. I don't want anybody to. But that instruction we are following since last 500 years. Everywhere around that place, you will see nice temples. But that place is very broken, is dilapidated, just basic minimum facilities kept. So there are Vaishnavas like that. So Narottam Das Thakur, heart was captured by Loknath Goswami and he begged him to accept him as his disciple. Loknath Goswami said, I don't accept any disciple. So Narottam Das Thakur, who was the son of a king, would every day wake up 2 hours before in the morning and go to that place on the bank of Yamuna where Loknath Goswami would go to respond to nature's call. There, he would clean that place with his own hand every night and make it fragrant and fresh. So Loknath Goswami would go there and he would think, why is this place so nice? Somebody is coming and cleaning it. And one day he came a little earlier and he hid in the bushes to see who comes and cleans. And then he saw Narottam Das Thakur, who was so perseverant, who was so desperate to get shelter of Loknath Goswami. He saw him and he said, you Narottam, you are doing this. You are the son of a king. So Loknath Goswami was overwhelmed to see Narottam Das Thakur's devotion and surrender. And he accepted him as his disciple, but he is the only disciple he had. Narottam Das Thakur was a fearless preacher in Bengal. There's a lot of stories. He was the first one who started the Gaur Purnima festival at Keturi. And it's an elaborate festival, how thousands of devotees from all over came to celebrate Lord Chaitanya's appearance. And Narottam Das Thakur converted dacoits, bandits, great scholars, proud brahmanas, all of them, they became devotees of Lord Chaitanya by his influential, powerful preaching. And when it was time for him to end his pastimes, he sat on the bank of Ganga and he asked his devotees, disciples to bathe him with water, Ganga water. And each drop of water that was falling on him converted his body to milk. And his entire body became milk and flowed with Ganga. That's how he left this world. So Narottam Das Thakur's disappearance day comes a few days after the Sharad Purnima. So that's a very, very special day that falls on the month of Kartik. And also you'll see a few days after that will come Baulashtami. Baulashtami is the day when Sri Radha Kunda appeared on this planet. Radha Kund is the most important place or holy place pilgrimage for devotees in ISKCON. Rupa Goswami says of all the planets, Earth planet is the most special because it is here that the Lord incarnates so many times. And in Earth planet, he says the land of Bharatvarsha is most auspicious. And within Bharatvarsha, Mathura Mandal is the most important holy place. And in Mathura Mandal, Govardhan is our most important place of pilgrimage. And in Govardhan, it is Radha Kund. So Radha Kund is a body of water. That water is considered love of Srimati Radharani in liquid form. When Krishna killed Arishtasur, who was in the form of a bull, the gopis led by Radharani told Krishna that you have killed a bull, which is a male cow. So you are a sinner. You cannot touch us now. You cannot come close to us. Krishna said, but Arishtasur was a demon. He was not an ordinary bull. So then Gopi said, no, that's a detail, what you are saying. But you killed a bull. So you cannot come close to us. So you have to go and now do prayaschitta, atonement. You have to go and take part in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Ganga, Yamuna, of course, is there. Prayagraj. You have to go to all the holy places and take dupki. So Krishna said, no. Krishna said, I will not go there. I will get all the holy places here. So Krishna, he dug the ground with his hoof, with his toe. Sorry, with his toe, he dug the ground. And then from that hole, all the holy places personified appeared, offered respects to Krishna. And then that kund was created. That was called Shama Kunda. It's Krishna created that. And then Krishna said, see, now all the holy places have come here. He showed the gopis. They all have come here and offered respects to me, and they have filled this place with their water. So I don't have to go anywhere now. I've taken bath here. But you all have sided with the demon. So you have become sinful because you supported Arishtasura. So you have to go to all holy places now and take bath and then get purified. You have become sinful. The gopis said, but then he said, no, it's okay. You don't have to go everywhere, all that. It will be difficult for you. You can take bath in my kund. And I've created this kund, so you get purified. So gopis and Radharani said, no, why we should take bath in your kund? We will make our own kund. So they made a line, chain. The gopis made a chain. From Mansi Ganga, they brought water and they wanted to make a kund and create. So then Krishna invoked again all the holy places and they approached him with Radharani and offered obeisances and said, the gopis with their bangles and kankan and their anklets, they dug the hole and created a kund. And then all these holy places personified requested Srimati Radharani that please allow us to fill this kund with our water. And when they filled it, Krishna was so happy. And Krishna said, I declare that this place is the most important place in creation. And anyone who sees Radha Kund, what to speak of touch the water, what to speak of actually bathing in that water, will certainly be gifted with love, pure love, Krishna Prem, and Srimati Radharani's mercy. So that's the most important place, Radha Kund, and that appeared on this month of Kartik. It's called Baulashtami. It's the 8th day, starting from tomorrow. And you'll see on Baulashtami in Vrindavan at Govardhan, Radha Kund, millions of people come. All the Brajvasis, saints, everyone from North India is there. It's huge crowd. It's a very, very special festival. So we will be, of course, in Mumbai, remembering Radha Kund and praying. So that's also in this month. Also, you see, month of Kartik is when, after Baulashtami is also the appearance day of Virabhadra, son of Nityananda Prabhu, who was also an extraordinary preacher. And his pastimes are also very glorious. He appeared in this month. When he was once doing Kirtan, there was a blind devotee. He was so mesmerized by his Kirtan and he wished that I have eyes by which I could see Lord Virabhadra's Kirtan. And right in front of everyone, understanding his heart, Virabhadra mercifully glanced at him and he got his eyes and he could see the dance of the Lord's associate, like that. And of course, this month is very special because this is a month where Diwali comes. This is the day when Krishna performed the most beautiful pastime of Damodar, breaking the pots and stealing butter, and Mother Ashoda tying Krishna to the wooden grinding mortar. And this pastime is so glorious that every day, twice, morning and evening, we sing the same pastime. Janmashtami, every year, once a year it comes. And that also, we don't speak only Krishna's birth. That day, we speak Krishna's birth, we also speak other pastimes of Krishna. But it comes only once a year. But Krishna, being bound by Mother Yashoda to a wooden grinding mortar, this pastime we speak every day, twice for the entire month. This is extraordinary. That means Srila Prabhupada said this, and he gave us this bhajan of Satyavrat Muni. Namami Shwaram Satchidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Prajamanam Yashoda Viyoloka Ladavamanam Param Drishtamatyantato Dutya Gopya. So this is the pastime where Satchidananda, Namam Ishwaram, the first line says he is the supreme personality of God. Satchidananda Rupam. And the next line says, Yashoda Biolu Kala Dhavamanam. He's running away in fear of Mother Yashoda. This is the paradox of Krishna, which is celebrated in this month. That Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, who is feared by fear personified, he is afraid of his mother, who is a simple gopi. And that fear is love. So in that chapel in Italy, there is painting of God, big light coming, and all the devotees are afraid of that light. So Gurujan Prabhu says, they are all afraid of God, but our culture is different. Our culture is where God is afraid of his mother Yashoda. So this is a very beautiful pastime, and I think in one of the classes this month, if we have time, we will discuss that in greater detail. But the essence of this pastime is that we want to love Krishna so much that we can one day capture him by our love. But the Prabhupada says we can't capture. Prabhupada says in one lecture, the goal of bhakti is to capture Krishna like Mother Yashoda captured. Then Prabhupada says, if you can't capture Krishna with your love, then at least choose Krishna over Maya. When we are tempted and distracted, instead of choosing distractions, let us choose Krishna. The more we choose Krishna, one day we will be able to capture Krishna. If you say, Prabhu, but I can't even choose Krishna. My mind is so troubling. It takes me everywhere. So Prabhupada says, okay, even if you can't choose Krishna, then keep coming back to Krishna. Even if you made a wrong choice and you are suffering the consequences of that wrong choice, then because Maya is not beating you 24 hours, she beats you, and when you are suffering and you are in pain and you are looking at the wounds, that time Maya is not beating you. Maya is watching you suffer in that pain. That's the time when we can come back to Krishna. If you can't capture Krishna, choose Krishna. If you can't choose Krishna, come back to Krishna. So, but one day we want to reach that stage where Mother Yashoda, she was a simple gopi. Evam sandarshito angarina bhritya vashyata swavashena pi krishnena yasyedam sheshwaram vashe. She, Krishna did this pastime of stealing butter and we captured the Mother Yashoda to show the world. Bhritya vashyata, I am controlled by my devotee. And who controls him? Swavashena pi krishnena. Krishna is controlled by himself. He is Supreme Lord. Not only that, Yasyedam Sheshwaram Vashe, Brahma and Shiva are controlled by him. And he decides that I will be controlled by Mother Yashoda. So this is the most beautiful pastime. So we request you, please come as much as possible to temple and offer that lamb and offer this prayer. If you cannot come to temple for certain reason, you will see that live telecast of Damodar Ashtakam will happen on our ISKCON Chowpatty RG media. So there, YouTube में आता है live. So if you RG Media Live, there you can see that and you can offer lamb. So this is a very, and this is, you will experience at the end of the month that your Krishna consciousness has been surcharged deeply. So there are some things in Krishna consciousness where there are no answers, only experiences. And in front of experience, no answer can match. So you look for answers, you ask questions. Whatever answers we give, we'll get more questions. There is no end to debating. There is no end to question answer. Best is you experience Krishna's love. Then all questions are satisfied. So that is this month. After a few days after Diwali comes the most important day of Govardhan. That is another whole story. Actually, Ras Leela pastime itself is called Chemasi Leela. Means it takes 6 months to explain the whole pastime. Every day, morning and evening, if you do 3-hour katha, then after 6 months, Ras Leela pastime can be completed. And Govardhan pastime happened for 7 days. Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill. So hopefully one of the days during this Kartik month, during our weekly class, we may discuss that. But the idea is that Govardhan Lila is so special. Krishna and all the Brijvas were under the Govardhan hill for 7 days and 7 nights. Actually, in Vrindavan, the gopis would feel a lot of separation from Krishna because Krishna would go to the forest to herd the cows in the morning. And in the evening, when he would be with the gopis, Krishna's friends would feel separation. They would be waiting for the morning. But when this Govardhan Lila happened, all gopis and gopas, everybody was happy because 7 days, 7 nights, Krishna was under the hill. If you ask Brajavasis, Krishna is so strong, Krishna lifted the Govardhan with a small pinky finger, means he is God. They immediately say, no, Krishna is not God. See, they cannot understand only. Kartik month is month of Vrindavan to appreciate the love of Brajavasis for Krishna. They love Krishna so much that they don't understand that he is God. Brajavasis once we were in Nandugaon and they were feeding prasad, it was very tika. So and that was rightly the Bhoga, Mahaprasad. So our brahmachari one day we told that Goswami ji, Babaji, you feed, आप इतना तीखा खिलाते हैं ठाकुर जी को. So instead of explaining that answer, he caught that word ठाकुर जी. Right? ठाकुर जी आपके होंगे? हमारे ठाकुर जी थोड़ी है, हमारे तो लाला है. I said, oh wow. He caught that word for him, you know. और हमारे लाला तो तीखा खाते हैं बहुत. So wow, you know, that's so they don't pray to Krishna when they are in trouble. They will have devtas, but for Krishna, only a loving relationship. And if you tell them about Krishna lifted Govardhan, he is God. They will say, "Arey, you know how he lifted Govardhan? कुछ माखन सो बल बड़ो, कुछ गोपन करे सहाय. श्री राधा जी की कृपा सो गिरिवर लिए उठाए." कोई माखन खाया ना अच्छा तो ताकत आया और कृष्ण को माँ यशोदा ने बनाया था. कुछ गोपन करे सहाय. All the gopas were holding with the stick. So Govardhan was standing. Shri Radha ji ki kripa so. Shri Radha ji's love made Govardhan go high. And Krishna's friend would say, you are cheat. You know, you just put your finger up and held it to show that you are holding it. Govardhan was in ecstasy and he was floating in air. So like that, Govardhan Lila is one of the most sweetest pastimes. For 7 days, 7 nights, everybody got association of Krishna. And then comes the most important day of this month. And because of that day, we are able to celebrate Kartik. What is that day? Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day. In the month of Kartik, Srila Prabhupada left this world November 14, 1977, Monday, 7:24 p.m. at Sri Krishna Balaram Temple in Vrindavan in the month of Kartik. When devotees are chanting Hare Krishna, surrounding him, remembering Krishna Balaram's lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada left this world. And I think that day we'll have a festival in temple. That also happened. And also, this is the month where we had Gopashtami. This is the day, Gopashtami is the day when Krishna was given in charge of taking care of cows. In the Kaumara age, till the age of 5, Krishna was only taking care of cows. But at the age of Pauganda, when he entered the age of 6, he was made in charge of cows. 9 lakh cows Krishna would herd. And he would go to Vrindavan, forest with the cows. And that's a beautiful pastime. Krishna loved the cows so much. Once when Mother Yashoda wanted Krishna to wear shoes, because you are going in the forest, thorns will prick your feet. Krishna said, my cows are not wearing shoes. If you want to give me shoes, you give shoes to all the cows. So 9 lakh into 4, 36 lakh shoes. So practical nahi hai. So Krishna's Gocharak Leela is one of the sweetest pastimes. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidama satya pashunanu viveshayato dvayasya Vaktram Brajesha Sutayoranu Venu Jushtham Eva Nipita Manurakta Kataksha Moksham. So, the perfection of the eyes, the Bhagavatam says, Akshanvatam Phalam, the perfection of eyes is to see Krishna coming from the forest of Vrindavan with the cows and going to the forest of Vrindavan. There is nothing greater than this. Asakya Pashunanu Viveshayato, and he's with his friends. Gopashtami is the day when we celebrate Krishna going to the forest with cows and also enjoying with his friends, with his boyfriend. There are a lot of mischievous pastimes in the forest of Vrindavan. They would have everyday picnic. Bhaktram Rajesha Sutayor Anuven, and you would have this flute, Anuven Jushtam, Erva Nipitam Anurakta Kataksham, and when he's coming back, he would cast sidelong glances on the gopis and send them love messages. And that's beautiful pastime. You know, the gopis would look at Krishna and they would throw flowers at him. And Krishna would pick up the flower, and the flowers, they would write secret messages that, about wanting to meet him. And then Krishna would see that and then look at the gopis, and best way by his eyes, he would convey to them where we are meeting when. And they would understand. इशारों इशारे क्या हो निगाहों निगाहों में वो ऐसा तो गाना है इशारों इशारों में निगाहों निगाहों so Krishna was the origin of that song. So this is a very beautiful festival. Chuta Pravala Baraha Stabakotpalabja Malanukrutta Paridana Vichitra Vesho Madhye Virejaturalam Pashupala Goshyam Rangeyatalitavaro Pachagayamanu. So Chuta Pravala Baraha Stabakotpala, yes, this peacock feathers, Mala, Nuvritta Paridana, Vichitra, and dressed in most astonishing garments. And he's in the middle. Madhye, Virejatalam, Pashupala Goshyam, there are cows everywhere surrounding him. And this is the expert actor dressed in the most stylish garments. Krishna is going to do. And to see this, all the devatas come from the higher planetary systems. Krishna, what is that verse? Krishnam niriksha vanito savarupa shila shudvachata kuchidavenu vivikta geetam devyo vimana gataya smaranunna sara Vrishyat prasuna kavara vinivya. So the heavenly damsels are going in their plane. Krishnam niriksha, they see Krishna with all his friends enjoying Vanitotsav, these Vanita, these women, Utsav, for them it's a festival. Rupa Shila, seeing Krishna's character and beauty. And then they hear his flute. And Krishna singing with his friends, Vivikta Geetam. And Devyo Vimana Gataya Smara Nunna Sara, they become statue. And then they start falling unconscious in ecstasy. So this is the most beautiful sight. That's the Gopashtami day. It's a beautiful festival. Krishna would be in the forest with his friends. They would have picnic, and they would have masti. They would have fun. Mushnantaronya shikyadim gyatam aracha chikshipu tatratyasya punah durat tashantasya punah tadu. So Krishna would take the dabba. They would carry their tiffin, and then the boy would be looking for that tiffin, and then the boy would come to Krishna. Krishna would throw it to his friend. Gyatam arata chikshipu. The boy would understand, oh, where is my dabba? He said, oh, this boy has it. Then he goes there, and that boy would tatratyasya punah durat, and he would throw it to another person. Then he would go there. So like that, everybody would keep passing it. And then this boy would get tired and he would start crying. When he starts crying, they would give it back to him. And when he got it back, he would start laughing. And when he started laughing, everybody would laugh. So like this, they would have picnic. Yadi duram gata Krishna vanam shobechanayatam aham purvam iti samsprishyaremre. If Krishna went a little far, all the boys would say, Yadi duram gata Krishna, you go to see the forest, the trees. And the boys would say, let us have a race, let us see who will catch Krishna first. And they all start running towards Krishna. Aham purvam, I'll come first to catch Krishna. Like this, they would run and touch Krishna. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradevatenam maya shitanam naradarakena sakham vijaru krita punya punja. Sukha Goswami says, who are these boys? There are people, some people think these boys are Brahman realized, great yogis. Some people think God is, we have to serve God in the mood of servant. Some people think, oh, Krishna is any other demigod. Some people think, oh, this Maya is in Maya. Ordinary person, none Devakanam, but these boys are most special. Sakam, Vijaru, Kritapunyapun, they have performed unlimited spiritual activity that they have got Krishna as their best friend. So this is the position of these boys. So like this Gopastami also comes in this month, and this is a very, very special month. So please keep coming every day if possible. If not, online you can come offer lamp. And remember Krishna and aspire, let us all aspire to surrender our life to Krishna. Very rare life. I don't know when we will die, right? We're all going to die. हो गया अभी इतना उम्र हो गया कभी. So before we die, let us make our lives perfect. कार्तिक मास की जय, श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.